This is John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. It is one of the busiest airports in the world. Every day, more than 100,000 passengers arrive and leave on hundreds of flights from every corner of the globe. It is a center for modern travel and connection. But what if a traveler comes from a place that isn't on any world map? This story, which is told in the video you provided, is about an unbelievable event just like that. It is the story of a woman who did not just confuse the immigration officers, but also challenged our own idea of reality. A woman who came from a country called Torenza, a country that does not exist. Everything was normal. The flight from Tokyo had landed, and passengers were moving toward the immigration counters. Among them was a middle-aged woman wearing a blue hijab. She looked calm, just like any other tourist. When it was her turn, she handed her passport to the immigration officer. The officer looked at the passport. On the cover, it said, Torenza. The officer read the name again. Torenza. She had never heard this name in her entire life. She typed the country's name into her computer system. Nothing came up. No such country found. She thought it might be a joke or a fake passport. But when she inspected the document, she was shocked. According to the video's narrator, this passport was not fake. In fact, it was flawless, even better than perfect. It had all the latest security features, a working biometric chip, complex holograms, and watermarks that you would find in the most high-tech government documents. This was an impossible situation, a passport that was technically real, but from a country that did not exist. The officer called her supervisor. Soon, airport police and senior officials arrived. They began to question the woman. She stayed calm, but looked confused. She insisted that Torenza was her home and that it has existed for centuries. Then the officers looked at the stamps inside the passport. The mystery became even deeper. Her passport was filled with dozens of immigration stamps. But these were not from known countries like Japan, France, or Germany. According to the video, these stamps were also from countries that do not exist in our world. Every stamp, every visa, was proof of another impossible place. The officers moved the woman to a separate room. They could not understand who she was. Was she a highly trained spy, or was she mentally unwell? They questioned her more firmly. According to the video, when the agents finally told her that a place called Torenza does not exist on this planet, the woman froze. She turned pale. She whispered in a shaking voice, "If Torenza isn't here, then this isn't my world." This was the moment the situation changed from an immigration problem to something that made them question reality itself. She asked the agent, "Is this America?" The agent replied, "Yes, of course." The woman whispered the word America again, as if she had heard the name, but had arrived in the wrong place, the wrong America. The authorities had no other choice. They placed her in a secure room at the airport underguard. A watch was set up 24 hours a day. She sat silently for hours, staring at the walls, as if trying to understand something that is impossible for a human to understand. And then, something happened that sealed this mystery forever. The video's narrator claims that a few hours later, the woman vanished. She did not walk out the door. She did not jump from the window. The security cameras did not record her leaving the room. Instead, the cameras showed her slowly fading away, like static on a broken television screen. She made us question our reality, and then she went back to wherever she came from, or perhaps somewhere else. The video leaves us with this question. Was she a lost traveler from a parallel dimension? A world where the history of Europe or Asia was different? A world where Torenza was a real, advanced country? This unbelievable event, as strange as it is not the first of its kind, according to the video. In fact, it is an echo of an even older and equally mysterious event. The video's narrator takes us back to July 1954. Tokyo's Haneda Airport. A well-dressed man who looked European got off a flight. When he presented his passport, the Japanese officers were stunned. The passport was from a country called Taured. Just like Torenza, there was no country named Taured on any world map. When the officers asked the man to point to his country, he put his finger on Andorra, a tiny state between France and Spain. The The man angrily insisted that the place was not Andorra, but Taured, and that his country had existed for 1,000 years. He told the officers he was in Japan on a business trip, just as he had been doing for the past 5 years. His passport was also flawless. It had real visas and stamps from Japan and several European countries. He had money issued by Taured, a checkbook from his bank, and documents for his company. Everything seemed real, except for the country itself. The Japanese authorities, just like the officers at JFK, detained the man in a hotel room. The room was high up in the building, impossible to exit from the window, and 2 armed guards were placed outside the door. The next morning, when the guards opened the door, the room was empty. The man from Taured had disappeared. All his personal items, including his impossible passport and his briefcase, had also vanished. He had disappeared from a locked, guarded room. 2 events. The man from Taured and the woman from Torenza, decades apart, but the details are terrifyingly similar. Impossible passports, confusion about geography, and an unexplainable disappearance. What is going on? The most exciting theory the video suggests is parallel universes or interdimensional travel. This idea says that countless realities exist at the same time. Maybe these people accidentally fell into our world through a glitch or a crack in reality. A world where Torenza is a superpower, or where Andorra is called Taured. When our reality recognized this error, it rejected them, and they faded like static, returning to their original worlds. This is an interesting story, but is it true? This is where we must step back and look at the video itself. The story of the man from Taured has been a famous urban legend since the 1950s. There has never been any solid, real proof for it. It is a popular story on internet forums that talk about mysteries. But the story of the woman from Torenza, this one is new. It seems to be the modern version of the Taured story. And the reason? Artificial intelligence, AI. If you look closely at the pictures of the woman from Torenza in the video, they do not look like pictures of a real person. They have all the signs of pictures made by AI. The face is not perfectly symmetrical. The eyes look strange and empty, and the background is blurry. Furthermore, all the other scenes in the video, the worried airport agent, the police officers, the security cameras, are all stock footage or clips taken from other dramas and movies, edited together to make this story seem true. The host of the video, who is telling this story with so much emotion, is not a journalist who is at JFK Airport. He is a content creator who is telling an exciting digital story. We have entered a new era, an era where truth can be created. In the past, stories like the man from Taured were limited to words and imagination. They had no visual proof. But today, with the help of AI, anyone can create realistic-looking photos of the woman from Torenza in just a few minutes. They can invent proof for a completely imaginary event. This video, which you asked us to make a documentary about, is a mystery itself. It is not a report about a mysterious event. It is the mysterious event. It is a 21st century digital folktale designed to go viral. The creator took the old, proven story of Taured, gave it a modern update, JFK Airport, biometric chip, and used AI to give it visuals to make it look more real and more frightening. Fading away like static. This is not proof of a parallel universe, but a common metaphor for a digital glitch. It is a clever way to tell a story. So, who was this mysterious woman from Torenza? Was she really a lost traveler from another dimension, trapped in our reality before fading away? Or is she just a digital ghost? A character created by AI, made to give new life to an old story? Maybe the real mystery isn't the woman or her passport. Maybe the real mystery is the technology that created her so convincingly. This video forces us to ask a deep question about our own reality. If AI can so easily create an impossible traveler, how will we know what is true and what is fake in the future? The woman from Torenza may not be real, but the fear and wonder she created are very real. And perhaps that is the biggest mystery of this digital age.